Hello and welcome to Wish You Were Here today. As ever, we've got lots of ideas to give you inspiration for your next holiday. But before we go any further, let's take a look at what one lucky viewer will have won by the end of the programme. So if you fancy that, all you have to do is answer this question. It costs just 25 pence to call and lines are open right now. As usual, we'll find out who's won at the end of the programme. In the meantime, let's check out where we're travelling to today. Yesterday, we saw Gordon and Susan Kennedy embark on a holiday which they hope will make a real impression on their boys, Patrick and James. And I think they'll be well prepared. That was fairly damp there, wasn't it? Now, did you know that Victoria Falls are nearly twice as large as Niagara? And they were named after our very own Queen Victoria by Dr. David Livingstone. Now, something else to bear in mind when you're visiting Zambia is jabs. Go and visit your doctor well before your trip, and you'll also need anti-malarials. Now, you've still got just enough time to win a holiday in today's competition. The lines aren't open for much longer, so pick up that phone. You never know, it could be 25 pence very well spent. Don't go away, there's all of this still to come on Wish You Were Here today. Welcome back to part 2 of Wish You Were Here today. Now, Goa in India has been a fixture in the tour brochures for years. It's famous for its beaches, its markets, its atmosphere, and its incredible good value for money. But there is a downside. It's a very long way away, and after 10 hours on a charter flight, you really feel it. One thing's for sure, though, when you land, India hits you in the face.
Well, I slept for about an hour and a half on the plane last night, and it's taken 2 hours to clear through passport control, customs, get off the plane. I'm exhausted.
If you haven't pre-arranged transfers, then getting a taxi is quite straightforward. There's plenty of them, but do agree the fare first. Mine cost about £7 one way. I really didn't know what to expect from this hotel, because it says in the brochure, ideal for guests on a budget. And that is often brochure speak, that you're going to be staying in a very dark, poky little hole. But it's not like that at all, as you can see. I mean, this room is bright, it's very spacious, it's clean, it's got air conditioning, a fan, and even 2 balconies. And the beach, apparently, is 250 yards that way, so I'm going to time it and see how long it takes. Total of 3 minutes 14 seconds. The sand is really hot.
Now, Goa, of course, is famous for its beaches, and it's easy to see why it's been attracting backpackers and hippies here for the past 20 years. This tanker temporarily parked here 2 years ago. It's a slight blot on the landscape, but the big appeal are the numerous restaurants and bar shacks. There must be hundreds of them. After all, this beach is over 8 miles long.
The first thing you notice down here on the shoreline is this fantastic breeze. It keeps you really cool, and it's here the whole time in Goa. Now, the deal with the beach is that you just walk along it for as long as you like until you find a shack that you like the look of. Hello. Sunbed? Until you find a shack you like the look of, and then you get offered a sunbed. Yes, sunbed would be great. Thank you.
No charge.
No charge? No charge for the sunbed.
And I have some drinks in this shack.
Have some drinks, I'll do that. Thank you.
This is more like it. You lie back and soak up the rays while the shacks blast out chilled tunes. You just eat and drink when you feel like it, very cheaply. And if you're worried about hygiene, well, I didn't get ill, just use common sense. So just relax and listen to the music. And get constantly pursued by beach vendors all day.
What do you have? Coconut? Henna tattoo, you say? No, not on me. Well, not today, thank you. No bags today. Maybe tomorrow. No jewellery, thank you. I've just bought some jewellery. No cake. I'm going to read my book now. No, thank you. Maybe later.
If you wander off the beach into the town of Candolim, you can see from the buildings that Goa was once a Portuguese colony. These days, all travellers' needs are catered for. Shops and stalls selling clothes and trinkets are a throwback to the hippie days.
But if you want to get all your shopping in one hit, it's probably best to come to a market. And there's lots of them in Goa. The famous ones are during the day, but I fancied browsing in the cool of the evening, so I've come here to Inigo Night Bazaar. I'm hoping to pick up a bargain or two.
The market is a 20-minute ride from the hotel. The taxi will cost you about £3.
Just see myself.
Look, nice silk sarong.
here I've got a deal, magic trousers. I'm not sure about this pot. Excuse me? Not 200, no way.
How much you want?
Give me 100.
This being India, you've got to haggle.
I'm not sure if I've been done there, but I like it. But it's about £2, so that's not too bad.
And next morning, it's back to the beach again. I hadn't realised that the monsoon destroys most of this beach every year, so the shacks have to be completely dismantled and then rebuilt. By the way, that's the time not to come, normally between June and September.
It really is wonderfully cheap in Goa. To get some really decent food in that shack cost £1.20. A bottle of water was 30p and a large bottle of beer was around 80p. But most importantly, a gin and tonic, and they were massive measures, was £1. In fact, that whole holiday is really good value. Now, if you fancy a bit of rest and rejuvenation, but the idea of a health farm seems a little bit extreme, then you have something in common with ITV sports broadcaster Des Lynam. Well, I'm sure Des feels rejuvenated after all those treatments. Anyway, a little bit of trivia for you. Now, after the UK and Ireland, which country is the largest consumer of Guinness? Now, I bet you'll never guess this one. The answer apparently is Nigeria. And onto potatoes. The first potato in Europe was planted by Sir Walter Raleigh, of course, in 1596 on his estate in County Cork. So, are you the winner of today's holiday? We'll be announcing that name in just a few seconds. But if you're out of luck, don't worry, because tomorrow we'll be doing it all over again. See you then.